Yep.
Hey.
CastApod.
Yeah.
Put your headphones on.
Yes, indeed.
Wait, this will be cut out.
Keep it raw. Anyway, I'm Willis.
Howard.
Welcome to CastApod. Yes.
So
yes,
this
sir.
is video and audio number 1 that we've ever done. This is raw. I mean, we're
gonna go with it. You know, we want to be natural.
We just have some things we want to talk about.
Yeah, but I mean, how was your day, man? Let's start there.
Dude, the day was good. It was a good day. We went looking for some work too.
Nice.
Own a cleaning business.
Yes, indeed.
And that I'm actually going to get away from. I think I'm going to be going back into the acting world. Sorry, that was my phone. I should silence that.
Oh, that's probably a good idea. Oh, well, it's probably going to die anyway.
All right. This episode is brought to you by...
A little drink.
Yingling. Thank you. Thank you very much. Good beer.
Thank you. America's oldest boy. I don't know if it's true, but it's on the can.
The week was good, though. The week was really good. I've been reading a book. It's Follow Me by David Platt. Great book. I don't read a lot. I don't like to particularly read, only just like little short spurts.
Okay.
But if I have to sit down and read something for a long time, you know, it has to be a good book for me to zone out and be able to just fly through it. But it's a great book. Just been reading it.
Nice.
Been great. Learning some good things.
Very nice.
It's a preacher that's down in Alabama, and he's done a whole bunch of stuff. He's an awesome guy. But yeah, cool. How was your week, man?
It was good. Yeah, actually, whoops, I didn't even mean it was a good week as far as work and everything. I work at a nuclear pharmacy. I do some nuclear compounding and everything. But the main thing is I forgot to tell you, really, my grandmother died.
Are you serious,
my
man?
great grandmother.
Wow.
Yeah.
How old was she?
99.
Oh man, that is incredible. She lived through a bunch of different eras.
Yes.
She's gone through so much, probably like rocket ships, spacemen, televisions, radios.
She was born, I think, in 1916.
Wow.
Because in 2014 she would have turned 100. She was born on December 7th. Like Pearl Harbor Day. But essentially, she was she was a child when World War I happened.
That is incredible.
The Dan Carlin Hardcore History.
Yeah.
Just might as well say that right now, because one of the
Dan
greatest
Carlin,
creations ever.
it is
you do not understand.
one of the best podcasts that I've ever listened to. He does so much research. He does so much work.
When he says he averages 30 books an episode, you believe it.
Yeah, it's like you probably did read 30 books
right.
to research this.
And how he says
old books.
The Charismian Shaw.
Yeah. Quote.
And I quote.
End quote.
Absolutely. The Wrath of God.
The Wrath of God.
Yes, which you might as well go ahead and give a shout out to one of our favorite podcasts also, Joe Rogan Experience.
JRE.
First heard about it, I think.
Him and Greg Carlwood have been two people that we've looked to even make this really happen.
Absolutely. I was so surprised that you liked the Greg Carlwood show, the Higher Side Chats.
Higher Side Chats.
My goodness, I was surprised.
The Higher Side Chats on Twitter. You should follow
absolutely.
Him.
He favored a tweet of yours, right?
Yeah.
You know, he responded to an email of mine, and this is the first time even taking a chance emailing.
This is a real person.
A host. Yes, exactly.
This is a real
I took a
person.
chance, and he really responded, and it was before he started the Money Bomb, And, I really respected that he not only did respond, but he was saying, oh, that's a pretty good idea. And, he actually, read it,
Oh, our Twitter handle, at
CastApod.
CastApod. Capital C-A-S-T, capital A, capital P-O-D. CastApod.
Indeed. Also, same at Gmail. If you want to email us any topics.
Email us. Hey, we'll talk about anything.
Yes. And we love to talk, so that's why we're here.
Yeah.
Yes, but absolutely. It's something to really appreciate all the work that goes into the podcast that they do. And,
Do. That they do.
Yes, that they do indeed. So,
do. They do indeed do.
Yes.
Sorry.
But absolutely, no, it's perfect because it's appropriate.
Okay.
But the main thing is we appreciate all the work that goes into them. We're about to do the money.
So we're getting into this, and just have to bear with us. I mean, it's the first time doing it, so we're going to talk about a few topics that I think whoever would like to listen to us, that you would probably like to talk about these topics that are going on in the world, that are going on in the United States. We're going to look at everything. I mean, from the smog in China to Fukushima to what we're going to talk about in a few minutes, but we'll save that for in a little bit.
Yeah. While we're actually somewhat on the topic, that made me think. Shout out to Big Josh, my best friend. He's down in Tennessee right now. But when you said the smog in China, that just reminded me of how
really?
He lived in Shanghai for a
couple
of years, and that was one of the biggest reasons he said he was happy to be home. Being able to breathe.
Oh wow, that's amazing!
Right?
That is amazing. To even think about having to worry about having to breathe
air. It's the whole concept of even why would the concept of worrying about having drinking water from the ground being drinkable.
Right. It's like, I didn't know that was important.
Right. You don't appreciate it until you have someone like, hey, I want that. We thought of it first. We want it. Or, you just pump depleted uranium into it and you're, just fracking to make money, right?
Right.
So, I mean...
We'll be talking about a little bit about that later.
Let's actually just jump into it.
Okay, let's jump in. Fresh. This segment I would like to call the news.
The news, yes. That's what it is. Now, what we're referring to is essentially it's your story, but just to give it a little introduction, because this is all I know about it, because I haven't read it yet. But the actual one of the CEOs or executives of a large oil company is suing to prevent fracking to be done in his general home area.
Yes, that is true. I don't have that up here right now. Give me a second. I'll see if I can find it. Fracking.
Well, essentially...
I'll be able to find it. Just give me a second here.
Go ahead. I'll keep talking about it.
Go ahead. I'm going to close the door, too.
Oh, cool. Now, one of the things that... He's suing because they're fracking around one of his homes. They made a point seeming to say his U.S. home, by the way. But, essentially, the fracking that will be done around his home will destroy his drinking water. That's kind of the point. And he's an oil executive, and... he doesn't want it done around his own home.
This is on Reuters.com. Today is July. February 28th. I'm really stupid. February 28th, 2014. Reuters, or Routers, how you say that. Chairman, President and CEO of ExxonMobil Corporation, Rex Tillerson, watches a tee shot on the 13th hole during the first round of the Pebble Beach National Pro Golf Tournament at the Monterey Peninsula Country Club course in Pebble Beach, California. That is the longest intro ever. But he's his name is Rex. Yeah, we'll include the links at the bottom.
Yes.
But he's president and CEO of ExxonMobil, Rex Tillerman. He's CEO. He likes fracking, but as long as it's not the water tower in his backyard. So he's having an issue with that. So apparently it must be bad if he doesn't want it in his neighborhood.
Let me just send me.
Yeah, go for it.
Scan it real quick because it does look like a very interesting story. Where
I don't think that's the right thing though.
Okay. Okay, this is a little different. And just scanning through the article, it looks like it is literally the water tower because it's an eyesore, quote unquote.
Mm-hmm.
Now, it's not a tower. It doesn't object to the tower for its potential use for water and gas operations for fracking, said Alan Jeffers. So it's just looking as though
that he doesn't like the way people don't like the way it looks.
Right, which is a wonderful excuse. Now, I was trying to be a little more giving and saying, oh, he doesn't want the water tower, which, wow. Oh, wow. Ooh, yeah, I'm going to have to switch positions.
That was too funny.
It's surprising. But essentially,
a lot more sensitive than you think.
Yes, quite.
Boom.
Right, and then the actual screening. Essentially, I was trying to give him a little more credit in saying that possibly it's a, he literally doesn't want it because it doesn't look nice.
Doesn't look okay.
But then again, it's like, well, maybe he just hasn't had his, separate water supply planned out yet, and maybe he just needs to stall, so he's joining the lawsuit. I mean, it just doesn't seem very... It wasn't as straightforward as I thought it was going to be, but I definitely, I would need more information. So good luck to all involved.
Yeah.
I'm not involved. Thank Jesus.
It's not related to fracking.
Yeah. Right.
He probably gets water brung into his home.
Yeah, but that's. Well, I mean, in theory, that's what you would have. But anyway, that was one thing that we didn't want to talk about, just to start us off.
Yeah. Well, to start that up, that's news part one. The next part.
Right, and just to kind of close out of that, something I feel is interesting. Mm-hmm. Someone was talking to me about this the other day, but, they are a very profitable business, yet they still require subsidies.
It's weird.
What about that?
And the corn, like subsidies, like do pharmaceutical companies get subsidies or something like that?
Absolutely, to cover their R&D, I do believe.
That's weird.
Portions of it. Yeah, I would actually want to look that up.
Why would they? Why would they need to get subsidies? That means they get given money. Like, huh?
Well, that's such a can of worms. My students, if any of you see this or hear this, hello. But I was talking about them the other day. Just the main. Oh, to kind of clarify that, I teach at a pharmacy technician training curriculum at a local trade school, community college. Very nice, very nice. But essentially, these pharmaceutical companies, that is a huge can of worms to discuss.
I don't even want to.
That's like a whole... I would want to
That'd be a whole episode.
I would want my... I have a good friend that is a MCB Pharmacy School. Mm-hmm. And not only does she know more than me, but even more so, she's very knowledgeable on the processes, even outside of the, what they teach in the school. She's just... Right. I work with her at my first pharmacy. She knows so much. But primarily, that could be a whole episode.
Yeah, it really could be. So the next topic is why the high finance workers are committing suicide. This is business .financialpost.com for February 21st, 2014.
Nice. Okay.
Oh,
I was just checking to make sure it's still recording.
Oh, okay.
Yes. I didn't know if there was a time limit.
Oh, that's cool. I don't know. We'll find out.
Yes.
It happens sometimes.
All right.
Okay.
Go right ahead.
Oh, I'm sorry. Let me click this.
There you go. This screen is so huge.
It is. It really is huge. There's the article says perhaps it would be rash to call it a spate or spat or a trend But in the past 6 months, a number of financial personnel from the United States to London to Hong Kong have committed suicide. So it's time to talk about why. Even if it's not a trend, something needs to be looked at closely. One Wall Street source familiar with employer relations issues. Each individual situation is going to be different. You never know what causes someone to reach this point in their life. It could be their job or their personal life. And when you have a big firm, you're going to have a lot of different kinds of people. End quote. Sorry, I had to do that. End quote. I had to do that. But it's weird because it's been a bunch of people that have committed suicide, and they have dates on here of when they've happened. Tuesday, February 18th, a 33-year-old junior investment banker jumped to his death from the skyscraper roof of a U.S. investment bank, J.P. Morgan Chase and Company's Asia headquarters in Hong Kong. Jumped to his death. That's weird. Oh, yeah.
It's another one that we'll link to because there's just so much information. And also condolences to their families. Definitely dealing with the loss, or, even if they didn't have families, I know even knowing someone that you've seen in the office can be, bothersome. I have worked with some, actually at my current position where I teach, we have lost faculty.
Oh, wow.
In last year. It's an odd situation, but I don't want to go into that. But definitely can be rough, but it does, like you said, you don't necessarily want to call it a trend, but interesting coincidence.
Yeah, it's weird. It's a bunch of people.
Yeah.
All over the world.
Yes, I didn't realize that at first, not until just now when you mentioned it, that it is all over the world. It's not just in the United States, but there seem to be. I mean,
it has something to do with like the Venezuela, their dollar or whatever they use for money. I'm not sure. Do you know what the Venezuela would use?
Not off the top of my head.
But it collapsed. I mean, people don't start protesting until something big has happened. Until people don't have anything to lose. You know what I mean?
That's interesting because I do know that. I was watching something on Democracy Now! And I actually didn't get to finish it, so apologize for this being completely incomplete, but I love Democracy Now! But they were saying how just like the United States is funding destabilizing initiatives in the Ukraine right now, they're talking
about. Have you seen where they talk about guys that have just been showing up there like they're a part of an army, but they don't know who? There's just these like. Have you seen that?
I haven't looked at any of the official news story.
Oh, dude, it's crazy.
It's I almost feel like that's kind of why I don't watch the regular news. I mean, those 6 corporations that own everything, they kind of keep everything about the same on all the stations.
Right.
But definitely...
Conan OBrien showed that on one of his YouTube videos.
I would love to see that. But primarily, it's very likely that we're still trying to kill and get rid of the current leadership in Venezuela. We've been trying for years. I mean, if I remember correctly, we had over 300 attempts on Cuba's leadership over the last 50 years. So, I mean, it's something we do. It's consistent. And, I mean, I don't even think we need Snowden's documents to verify that type of information. So, it's what bad America does.
Oh, yeah. This is Conan OBrien News is scripted. It's really funny. Conan OBrien did this. So here, let's play it. I just want to make sure I find the right one. Oh, here we go.
Oh, I have seen this.
You have?
Yes. Oh, gosh. Okay.
A lot of people think the big news stories these days are, a judge ruling against snooping by the NSA, or the big fight in Congress over the new proposed budget. A lot of people say those are the big stories. Yeah. But judging by local news, and I've been looking at a lot of local news, there's an even bigger story that's sweeping the nation right now.
Who are you really shopping for this holiday season? It's okay. You can admit it if you've bought an item or 2 or 10 for yourself.
Well, it's okay. You can admit it if you have bought an item or 2 or maybe 10
people
for
that
yourself.
can't see it.
It's okay. You
These
can
are
admit
different
it.
news stations that have the same
or 10 for
reporter or
yourself.
different reporters saying the same thing.
You bought an item or 2 or 10 for yourself.
It's okay. You can admit it if you bought an item or 2 or 10 for yourself.
It's okay. You can admit it if you bought an item or 2 or 10 for yourself.
It's okay. You can admit it, Todd.
No,
If you bought an item or 2 or 10 for yourself.
It's okay. You can admit it.
about
If you bought an item or 2.
It's scripted.
they're trying to say it in different ways, so I commend them on their, their ability to try to be creative.
Yeah, but it's
But
scripted.
everything is based on the exact same facts.
Yeah.
Like, oh, everybody got it. Okay, let's start the meeting.
Yeah.
This is what it's supposed to be.
Right.
You can admit it if you bought an item or
admit
2 or 10 for yourself.
It's okay. You can admit it.
It goes on and on and on and on.
For yourself.
Yeah, you can admit it if you bought an item or 2.
But
I
yeah, you
almost
get the
feel like
point
they
there.
play this in Joe Rogan Experience. I think this is where,
Oh, really?
where I heard it. Yeah, but pretty much like it, just like you hear it, is exactly what the video is showing.
Yeah.
I mean, it is exactly that. You could tell they're all basing their scripts on
The same
essential
script.
script.
Yeah.
There may be an attempt. They probably had these words in bold. That's why you hear this
Yeah.
exactly.
And they were just like,
Don't
if you bought an item or 2 or 10.
right, and they don't even specialize. Like, they're not sending to this region underlined, this region in bold, or
Right.
This region we want you to say this part. This region we want you to say that part. No, all right, everybody, because we're cheap and this saves us time, so we can get out of here.
Right.
Everybody gets the same thing, and I don't really care what you have to say. Say it bye.
Right.
That was the conference call.
It's insane. Absolutely insane. But what was our next topic? You could talk about our next topic. Go for it.
Yeah, where are we? Oh yeah.
It's probably one of these up here. Melgox. Oh, that's what you're talking about.
Gosh. There's no way this is not gonna happen again if I don't move my
Here, let me.
I'm animated.
Hold on,
Okay,
wait.
yes,
we
I
gotta stop
animated
this for
now.
a second.
Well, no, don't move it now because I'd move myself.
Oh, you're fine. You're fine now.
Okay.
It's probably better that it's closer to us. We can edit this part out anyway. But yeah, you can hear us a whole lot better now.
Yeah, I was in front of the screen too.
Yeah, there we go. Oh,
All
that's
right,
much
nice.
better.
Like
So.
good mythical morning.
Yeah. Good morning! We've got some people today.
Yeah, guys. Yeah.
Sorry, that was just a
Random
random moment.
YouTube channel, yes,
Here,
that
let's
we
turn it up to
follow.
here.
Maybe we'll open up the YouTube channels that we follow, or the podcasts, or video blogs that we watch and listen to.
Good morning!
Yes, so there are several of them that are hilarious. I used to watch one, but apparently there's some thing where I watched a couple videos, and apparently he was stealing people's jokes. I'm not even gonna say the
Who was
podcast's
that?
name.
Oh.
I'm not gonna say his
Okay,
name.
don't do
Like
it.
it's not worth it. But I still wish him the best. I just think it's unfortunate. I do feel a little misled, so I'm really not gonna support it intentionally. I accidentally clicked on a video the other day because he's a genius,
Oh, wow.
and he put up a freaking dog video, a cute dog video, which will get anyone, just like a cute cat video. So absolutely, it's a it's a clever ploy, but the first 2 seconds when I realized who it was from, I got out of it. Yes. Anyway, by the way, what were we talking about before I said we'll give you a listen to the podcast?
I'm trying to find the video. Sorry.
It's blah blah. Still recording, yay. That's all we need to check on.
Yeah.
The first thing we need to check.
Mm-hmm. Cool.
Okay.
You were talking about Melgox.
Yes. Okay. Unfortunately, what it looks like is from the news I've read, they were hacked, and if you know anything about Bitcoin, once you get access to it, all you have to do is change the address, and then the other person who originally owned it loses complete access to it. So they're looking to have had that happen. Essentially, they were hacked. All the bitcoins were stolen, and I think it's some 700,000 bitcoins.
Oh my gosh, 700,000 bitcoins.
That
Is
sounds
it
like
up
a
here?
lot. Let's look it up because I feel like it was Well, I just feel like that was the amount. But
Yeah, we just got to make sure, so we're just not.
exactly.
There it is.
750,000 of his customers Bitcoins. Okay.
Online.w. Yeah, it'll be at the
Wall
top.
Street Journal. Thank you. Thank you, Wall Street Journal. It's rare I can say that. But that looks to be the main issue, is that a lot of what, to an extent, I almost want to call them really speculators or speculating on Bitcoin market, if they're keeping their main source of their main funds in an exchange.
Yeah.
But maybe I just don't know enough about it. But from my perspective, if you're keeping it in an exchange, you plan on
Do
exchanging.
they know
or doing something with
what
it.
kind of people or who had their money in Melgox? Just
Well,
everyone?
It's going to be a bunch of people, and
I wonder
you
if
wouldn't
Leo
know.
Laporte did.
Well, no one would know.
Oh,
There's no
that's
way to
true.
know. I mean,
It's anonymous, yeah.
Yeah, so with we should pull that up one day, because it's actually very interesting. I mean, that thing on Joe Rogan Experience with Andreas Andronopoulos.
Yeah, I know who you're talking about. Yeah. I'll find that out really
Yes, but essentially it was fantastic, because the number one thing is that you could feel the guy's passion in it. He quit his job,
Oh, yeah.
and lived off savings while he just watched it develop and really joined in every way he could. That's a beautiful thing. The courage to do that is
Andreas Antonopoulos.
Oh, I'm so close.
Yeah,
Awesome.
Andreas Antonopoulos.
Yes, but absolutely, and even a
A
little bit of work I've
Bitcoin
done.
entrepreneur.
Absolutely.
It's on JRE.
Absolutely. And he knows his stuff. And the little bit of work that I've done in Bitcoin, I can understand wanting to put it in an exchange if you are looking in that short term to
Investing.
exchange it.
But investing too.
It's not really good for investing yet, because it's not so stable to be able to say you have a long term investment.
Mm-hmm.
But it is very interesting if you bought it when it was 3 cents a Bitcoin, and a couple spikes ago when it was $1,500 a Bitcoin.
Right.
Yeah, if you just wanted to cash out real quick, put some money back into it, just if you want to use it for an actual currency, for an exchange of some type, especially with all the different individual websites that are starting to accept Bitcoin. You're able to donate now in Bitcoin.
Yeah.
So, I mean, things like that, it's really picking up, catching on. There you go. So, it's just very interesting with this hack. And I wish, I do feel, not condolences, but I'm sorry for everybody who lost their money in it. But it is kind of the nature of the beast right now.
It really
is. Such, I don't know what they're being sued for. Maybe we can pull that article up. But I feel like they would almost certainly have in their terms and conditions, hey, we're not responsible if something happens.
Right. Yeah, they would have to.
It's new, and no technology is perfect, and no, security is perfect nowadays. So it is very unlikely. I almost want to pull their terms and service agreement, because I don't use Mt. Gox myself, so I don't have all the ins and out of using it. I have pulled it up before just to look at what the current rate is, or the current average, or what the exchange rate is, but that's about it.
Oh, that makes sense, man.
Yes, but it's very interesting. I hope that some people can take some solace in it, but oh gosh, there's so much information. Like, if you even want to just talk Bitcoins, actually,
Dude,
it just made me think about it.
Go for it, man.
Well, part of the thing of it is that we don't know all of this, because it's anonymous. We don't know who the individuals were. But for example, I'm thinking that it was.
We don't even know who the inventor is, though.
Not officially.
What is the?
Satoshi?
Give me a
Is it
second.
Sochi or Sonochi?
Sonochi,
what the
yeah.
smallest unit is named after. Well, anyway, what I was saying is that this is one way that even if there is campaign monetary finance,
Satoshi Nakamoto.
Satoshi, yes.
Satoshi Nakamoto.
If that's a real person or a real
If
man.
that's a real person, or a girl, or a man, or a group of people,
right, a group, yes.
we don't know.
Exactly. But with all that, what was I saying? Satoshi, Bitcoin. Oh, if there is campaign finance reform, this right here could completely take care of it or step around it. Mm-hmm. If you have anonymous donors to a campaign official or someone running, donate in Bitcoin.
That's exactly what I would do.
The first actual candidate to accept Bitcoin donation and they get their first like $6 billion donation from a corporation, you guarantee they're going to start winning extra quick. And I think that'll sidestep some of that Republican, we're not really friends with anyone right now.
Right. Well, that's like the super Tea Party people.
Yeah,
you know, like that's just off the deep end. Like
that's so high hopes for that.
I would. I'm not going to go there. I don't even want to go there.
Indeed.
But
yes, okay.
I don't think we should have parties in this country.
We don't need it anymore. I think that the biggest thing is that
why can't we just pick the best guy for the job? Why does he have to be a Democrat or a Republican or a Libertarian or a?
No. He has to be a Democrat or Republican. Don't get it twisted.
Of course, it's the American way. Red or blue, which do you choose?
Yes, exactly. Of these two people, we're saying you can choose one or the other.
Yeah.
That's exactly
not
what
this
we're
regular guy over here, maybe, that wants
No.
to do some really good stuff. No, he has to be on board to be ready to be our puppet. You know,
Yeah.
that system
Did
is
you
in place.
Did you see the YouTube video of that young girl who found out that every single U.S. president is related? Every single one, including Barack Obama. Yes, he is partially African American.
Yeah.
But yes, every single one has a genomic relative.
He's a sassy young man.
But yes.
They just found the most charismatic guy ever, and they were able to put him in office too. Oh, dude,
Yeah.
I respect him for his charisma, man. Like he is,
Definitely.
he is amazing. He's amazing to watch. I'm always like, wow, you sell bullshit so good.
Man,
It's so good, though. It sounds
well,
great.
you know what a lot of people don't say that probably a lot of people won't like, I guess. But I just thought of it, so I figured I'll say it.
Oh, go for it. Sorry, I said something.
It's very similar to Ronald Reagan. It's why the Republicans had him in the 80s. He was an actor. He could play the part.
Right.
So, I mean, this is kind of the same deal.
That
with
system
Barack
is
Obama.
in place. Like, who was it?
President.
Al Gore.
President Obama.
He was having Al Gore was having an interview with someone. I want to say it was David Letterman, and David Letterman turned around and asked him. He said, you know, how much does, he's like, serious question, how much did you actually know that was going on? He was like, about 40%. And then he asked, how much does,
vice president.
Yeah, and he was like, so how much did the president know? And he's like, 50%. Like, there's so much, like, you have to have different clearances, Q clearances, all that kind of stuff. Like, TM. What other clearances are there?
The funniest thing is that it's just like in Independence Day. You know, it's like, yeah, it was a need to know, and the president didn't need to know.
Right.
Was it the chairman of the appropriations?
The defense, all that stuff
You
is
know,
there in place
that was
before
hilarious.
this president gets there. You know what I mean?
Right. And
He had
since
no
when
idea what was
did
going
any
on.
president have a different foreign policy than the last one?
Huh. It's kind of kept going in the same direction, even though we've had different people. How does that work?
They're so unique.
It hasn't turned around or done something different.
Oh my gosh.
Change? Nope.
Okay.
Sorry.
Yeah.
But what else do you want to talk about, man?
I think the last thing was actually our health. What
health.
we're doing for supplementation, for example.
Supplementation. I haven't taken vitamins in so long, and I'm going to tell you. So I need to take some vitamins. I need to take a multivitamin. Hopefully, something I don't just crap out at the end of my day.
Yeah,
something that
bull ringers.
My wife and I, we went to Costco. Thank you, Costco. We went to Costco and got mixed fruit. I'm going to start making smoothies. That's one thing I want to start doing. I want to start taking my food in smoothie form. A lot of people say it's good for you. You know, your body accepts it better, and I like that personally.
I have a friend who juiced. Reduced all of his vegetables to juice, and that's all he did for, I think he said 2 months, and he lost at least 60 pounds. I mean, I could be exaggerating. Sorry, Kevin, but I mean he was a completely new person. It kind of freaked my wife and I out when we saw him, and we're friends with both. Actually, it's his girlfriend that is in pharmacy school at MCB that I was talking about earlier.
Oh no!
But when we first saw him, we were just like, "Karen got a new boyfriend."
You said the name. I should say the name.
Oh. It took us a second to say, hey, this is. Yeah. Well, no. They know. They know. And it was hilarious. And that's
funny.
They seem proud that we're going to actually start taking care of what
that's out there, everybody.
Yes, absolutely. But, I mean, they're really encouraging for us, which is
good.
a beautiful thing. Such a beautiful thing. They're the best people.
Here, give me 1 second. I'm going to do this.
Okay.
This is a song. Another Chancer rapper. This is Juice. Oh, yeah. I can't find it. It's the chorus part of it. That was a cut part for this. I'm not gonna put this in there. Just letting you hear that. But it was called Juice. But there's one part that goes Juice, Juice, and I like this part, and that would have been perfect for them. Okay. So we're talking about juicing.
Oh, like in the background, like juice.
I just have to find it. Like
juice. Okay.
Juice. Yeah.
Okay.
But we don't necessarily have to use that. But I was just trying to think of some kind of music. I should have brought my guitar. I didn't even think about that. Or on the piano.
Plug that in, right? Oh yeah, and you still have the jack available.
Yes, I do.
Did you bring the cable with you?
No, I didn't bring a 1/4 inch, man. I was gonna bring it, and I was like, I'm not gonna need that. I'm not bringing my guitar.
I have 1/4 inch adapter.
Dude, here, can we stop this really quick?
Sure.
Let's
just wrap it up. I mean,
honestly, all right, let's wrap it up, and then we can come back in, and then we can jam out.
We'll do it for number 2 or a different podcast, but welcome
this is
to
the first one. Hey, CastApod at CastApod.com. CASTP. Oh, sorry. At CASTAPOD.
Yes.
That's really hard to say.
CastApod. Let's leave it at that. If you know what casting is, a
pod.
What's a pod like? Pod.
Yeah.
Something.
Pod.
Yes.
CastApod.
That'll be the graphic. It'll be something epic, really new age, like.
Yeah, CastApod.
Yeah. Like you're about to go Super Saiyan or something.
Yeah.
All right.
Okay.
Thank you, Howard. For your time. Willis.
Peace. Cue the music.